Hello everyone, it's Melissa. It is so great to be back and in the swing of things. My kiddos are back in school and yay, I made another process video this week. This layout didn't take me very long, and as you'll see, it doesn't really have a ton of stuff. I'm starting off the video by showing you the pulls from my product jar, and I do end up using 6 of them. And the only one that doesn't make it on the page is a doily. And so, yeah, I am going to go ahead and get started with a 12 by 12 super old, super old piece of pattern paper. It's like a distressed blue from the Paper Loft. I got that at an expo, and I know right off the bat I want to frame out this layout, so I'm actually going to, rather than do like machine stitching or anything like that, I'm gonna cut little strips of navy cardstock, and not exactly sure what my plans are. I just know that I want some or all of this layout, framed out. So I do that occasion. If you've seen any of my other videos, I do it. And that Stampin' Up! Trimmer is new to me. I am a demonstrator, and I will tell you that I recently purchased that and I love it. So if you are in the US and you're interested, you can contact me because I am very pleased with that trimmer, no doubt. Anyway, so back to the layout. So originally I was going to let, when I print, first color photos, I usually let the colors in the photograph kind of show me my way as far as the colors that I'm going to use, directing me for my layout. But in fact, I was going to use the wrapping paper in the background. You can see it there. And between that and the frame from Simple Stories that I use, that chipboard frame, yeah, they're kind of about the same colors. So I kind of just went with that. And, I always feel like these people that design pattern paper and, wrapping paper and all those types of things, fabrics, I mean, they've got the master's degree. They went to the college. Why not? I mean, they obviously know what they're doing. So I, 9 out of 10 times, let that type of stuff guide me in my direction when I'm, choosing colors to go with my layout, because I already know, those people got the big bucks, and they obviously know what they're doing. So anyway, so you see me like just auditioning stickers and things that I'm going to use, that die with the word "this" on the top, punches, of course, because that was one of my pulls. Brad's are sitting there in the plastic bag. That was one of my pulls. So I'm just going to start punching circles. I kind of want, or like the idea for a birthday page, confetti, of course, anytime you're having any type of celebration. Now, he did not have a birthday party. He opted for very expensive speed skates. He likes to roller skate and wanted some inline roller blades, and super expensive, but that's what he wanted. So, I mean, he's 11. Let's just, get him what he wants at this point. There's no sense. I mean, aside from a puppy, he wanted those rollerblades. So, yeah, so here I'm just looking for some pattern paper just to cut out some of those circles. Like I mentioned at the top, I have a this die, and I also pulled from my stash some chipboard hearts that will later get painted. So, yeah, so I have that 11 piece of ephemera and also a tag back there just for my stash. I'm not even sure where that stuff came from. You can see, actually on the sides of those pictures, some American crafts from like a party collection. I pull off this orange sticker, and I'm going to take the backing off with just some cornstarch and a paintbrush. That's how I de-stick my stickers. So now I'm just going to fiddle around and play with how I want these circles to look. As far as color orientation, you can see that I decided to go with 3 actual colors of paper, which is like an orange, yellow, and a celery green. And my red element is brought in with the chipboard hearts. So there's, like I said, turquoise and navy is also in the layout, but I'm just going to bring it in like, randomly. You see that I also pulled, if you can see it, it's a paper clip It's an arrow, and I just have it resting right now on that chipboard frame. I'm going through and pulling some ridiculously old brads from my stash, and I'm happy to report I used 7 brads on this layout and 11 pieces of wood veneer, both, from my pull jar. And yeah, I just happy to get it used up and out of my stash. Let's see. So what else? So my son, like I said, he's 11. I'll talk a little bit about this photograph, and I just adore him. And yeah, he is a sweet boy. He's a mama's boy, but he is sassy. If you can relate, I'm just like, ah. But yeah, super cute. So from that pattern paper, I just cut I Love You to the Moon and Back. Here you can see I'm showing you, I just used some of my acrylic paint, watered it down, and did some splatters. Like I mentioned, I painted those hearts with just some paint from my stash, red. Let's see, I'm just going to reassemble everything. And I went ahead and cut this with the die cut with black. I'm going to poke some holes in this frame because I want to use ultimately some crochet twine, which you'll see me do here. And I'm going to put the arrow on with glue dots, but I'm also going to kind of sew it on and attach it. I do end up using my stapler on this page, but it's only to adhere down the crochet twine that I run through that tag, which is on the top. And I'll do that later. But I could have stapled it. I've seen tons and tons of people do different things. I mean, the glue dot would have sufficed, really. But I wanted another tie element, so that's what I'm doing. And I mean, it's super cute, adds a lot of texture. And anytime I can get a clip in, like this type of clip, I'm all about it. So yeah, you can see that I'm going to, put this on, and then, I'm really big on, when I do birthday pages, I'm really big on accentuating the number of, especially for my kids, like, and you'll see in this layout, like he just turned 11, so there is not only that 11 piece of ephemera on the top that says the word 11, but I also bring in from my favorite things from their bottle cap, alpha and numbers. I bring in from the numbers 11 that I just cut from some old navy, or old olive, cardstock for my stash from Stampin' Up. And I stacked 3 together to give the 11 some dimension. And you'll see that I end up putting them on later on the celery circles on the layout. Now, like most of these pieces of ephemera are super old for my stash. You can see one of my product pulls was an embossing folder. This one, I don't remember what it's called, but I can look it up if you want to know. Just let me know. I ran just the yellow circles through. I'm pulling another punch from my stash. This is a notebook punch from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to adhere it to both sides of my photo, and I'm going to fluff up the edges here at some point and just kind of crinkle them up to make them look like a torn notebook paper. I'm just going to start gluing down my circles. I've done that, and I'm going to let those dry for a little bit. I've got brads pulled out from my Stampin' Up stash, and yeah, I'm loving how this looks. I've manipulated that Make-A-Wish sticker, which you probably saw, and I just was talking over it, and I just cut it in half and made it work for me. Those are some K & Company really old, or Karen Foster maybe even older. I use them on pretty much every layout, just trying to get them out of my stash. I'm tying some crochet twine to this tag, and later I will staple it once I get everything situated and adhered down. Just fluffing up those little pieces of paper, stamping the date, what stays on, because that tag, it has like a little bit of a smooth, shiny surface on it, so I didn't want it to smear. Alright, so I'm a weirdo perfectionist, so when I was putting down those borders, I had to use my straight edge, and here I'm doing some stamping on the orange circle, and it's going to say your birthday, and it's from Stampin' Up, a Stampin' Up stamp set. And so I fast forwarded accidentally through me putting those borders on, but I will come back to it, and you'll see that I ended up putting them on 2 of the sides, and I really liked the way that turned out. So right now I'm just, like I said, stamping with I think a Cajun orange type color from Stampin' Up. I'm stamping just the word, like I said, your birthday, and I'm gonna get that on the layout. Of course, on top of all my product pulls, I always add stamping to everything pretty much I create to justify my purchases. That's a roller date stamp from Stampin' Up. I'm using some Altenew, the gray pack, and in the top right-hand corner, just lining it up here quick, I'm just stamping in a couple different shades and second generation stamping the word awesome with arrows. I just want it to be subtle, but there. From my Me and My Big Idea sticker sheet, clear sticker sheet, I found some black stars. You can see at this point that I've also added some wood veneer onto the page and the 11s, which I mentioned, and also some word stickers that I just found in my stash from My Mind's Eye and from Simple Stories. And I just placed them, like I said, I want this to have a confetti look. So I just placed them randomly. There are some confetti wood veneer, kind of sequin looking pieces. And the other pieces of wood veneer, there's 3 other pieces there, and those are from Studio Calico. And I'm just using the back side because the front side said something and I couldn't read it. So if you can see right now, it's a little hard to see, but I did stamp and emboss in a silver with just like a star type, asterisk type thing on those wood veneer. You can actually stamp on wood veneer and emboss, and it's beautiful. So here's a close-up, and just at the top section here, it's the chipboard and the die cut and a brad. And yeah, I think it turned out super cute, guys. I actually am really pleased with how quick this came together, and just it screams festive for me. And so the journaling says, say hello to the handsomest 11-year-old you're ever going to meet. And that is the truth. And so that is the end of my layout. I thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more layouts. Of course, now my kiddos are back in school. I'll put the links to my Facebook and Instagram below. Bye, guys.